Zinus Hybrid is an affordable hybrid mattress available in 6, 8, 10, and 12-inch versions. It uses a simple design made of polyfoam and an innerspring base. Unlike most other coil-based mattresses we test, the Zinus does not use pocketed coils, which allows each coil to move more independently. Instead, probably to achieve its lower price tag, it uses a more traditionally styled innerspring coil system. How does this design compromise affect the performance of the Zinus Hybrid? Let's see how the Zinus did in our test now. Here is the performance scorecard for the mattress. As you can see, performance was fairly mixed, if not leaning towards mediocre. On the bright side, response time and sex both scored in the 9s, while motion transfer stayed in the low 8s. However, the remainder of performance categories all scored between a 6.0 and 7.1. Altogether, the Zinus Hybrid scored a 7.37, which is a good deal below the average rating of 8.53. This score ranks it among the bottom 7% among all mattresses we've tested to date. But it also has that low price of $229 for a queen, so the lower score isn't that big of a surprise. The Zinus Hybrid is only available in a single firmness option. This is a 6 out of 10, where 10 is the most firm. To be clear, we tested the 10-inch version. While I would guess the other versions will have a similar firmness, it's possible that they could be slightly softer or slightly firmer compared to the 10-inch version. Next, we're going to talk through what the Zinus Hybrid does best. First, motion transfer is fairly good considering the price and coil unit. It's just about average, which means there's no big risk of couples waking each other up with basic movements during the night. Second, the Zinus is highly responsive and is generally very easy to move around on. Unlike many memory foam mattresses, you have very little chance of creating a crater or feeling stuck in the mattress. Third, the price is extremely low for a queen size. The average mattress price we see is $1,374, based on the 310 plus mattresses we've tested to date. At $250, the Zinus is 83% less expensive than that. However, all mattresses aren't ideal for all sleepers. Let's talk through the important consideration points for the Zinus Hybrid. First, I was disappointed by the level of cooling performance. While the mattress does use an innerspring system, the foam layer both retained more heat and held onto it longer than is ideal. Second, I'm not convinced this mattress has enough support or good enough pressure relief to recommend. If anything, lightweight bodies will do best, with support issues being more likely as you exceed 200 pounds, but especially 250 pounds. Finally, edge support was not great for both sitting and lying. The edge support simply does not feel especially supportive. Your body weight and sleeping position impact the types of mattress that are best able to support you. Our analysis is designed to help match the correct mattress to the right body types and sleeping positions. Support on the Zinus Hybrid is mediocre. During our test, I felt an insufficient level of support in all sleeping positions. The mattress created significant pressure relief issues, which exacerbated the support issues. The mattress is equipped with a 6-inch support layer. This is 1.88 inches thinner than the average support layer thickness of 7.88 inches based on all of our tests to date. The coil unit is thinner than average, non-wrapped, and looks and feels incredibly low quality. As you can see from the chart, this mattress is only suitable for those around 150 pounds or less. Even then, I'm still not convinced it can provide adequate support. The coil itself feels fairly thin and unsupportive. Even at just 140 pounds, I did not feel well supported, and the mattress just doesn't have a robust level of pushback, especially for the heavier parts of the body. It's hard to imagine sleepers of any notable weight feeling fully supported by the mattress. Based on all my tests to date, an analysis of the materials, and my subjective experiences, I'm confident most sleepers will find support on the Zinus Hybrid is mediocre. Be sure to visit us over at naplab.com/mattress-quiz. There, you can submit your needs and preferences, and we'll send you back a personalized recommendation based on your inputs. Next up, we're going to move on to our individual performance tests. In NapLab, we test each mattress by analyzing it according to 10 different factors that impact the feel, comfort, and performance. First up, we have our cooling test. To measure cooling, we lie on the mattress for 15 minutes, allowing it to absorb body heat. Then, we get off the mattress and take periodic measurements of the surface level temperature. Our tests show how the mattress retains and releases heat and overall cooling performance. Mattresses that breathe better, retain less heat, and sleep cooler are better, as they allow sleepers to maintain a comfortable temperature. The Zinus Hybrid has fair cooling. During our test, I felt a moderate level of heat retention around my body. Some parts of my body experienced notably more heat to the point I would call it hot. However, these were more isolated hot spots. When we look at the material design of this mattress, we see relatively low quality materials, 3 inches of polyfoam, and no significant cooling features. Having a coil base is helping to bring more airflow into the mattress. However, it's not enough to counteract the negative impact of the foam comfort layers. In our objective temperature test, we measured a max surface level temperature of 90.8 degrees Fahrenheit. This is 1.0 degrees warmer than the average of 89.8 degrees based on all of our tests to date. When we consider the combination of objective data, my subjective experiences, and an analysis of the materials, I'm confident in my view that cooling is fair. For the sinkage test, we lie on the mattress. In addition, we use a 12-pound medicine ball to test pressure point sinkage. Deeper sinkage can cause sleepers to feel overly enveloped by the material layers, while less sinkage can make you feel that you're sleeping more on top of the mattress as opposed to in it. Sinkage is a preferential factor. Some prefer more, others less. The Zinus Hybrid has deep sinkage. During our test, we measured a pressure point sinkage depth of 2.36 inches. This is 0.20 inches more sinkage than the average depth of 2.16 inches based on all of our tests to date. The mattress creates a more traditional coil feel. It doesn't have any level of substantial body contouring hug. Heavier parts of the body sink down into the mattress, especially butt and midsection. That said, even with sinking down further, those body parts don't get a notable level of hug or contour. It's a combination of a more slight, restrained hug while still being a deeper level of sinkage. As a result, the total feel is one of a more traditional spring or coil type mattress. To test motion transfer, we place one 12-pound medicine ball on one side of the mattress and drop another 12-pound medicine ball on the opposite side. In addition, we use an accelerometer to objectively measure the motion generated by the medicine ball drop. Lower motion transfer is better as it helps sleeping partners avoid disturbing each other during the night. The Zinus Hybrid has a low level of motion transfer. During our test, we measured a total acceleration range of 9.10 meters per second squared. This is 4% more motion transfer than the average of 8.74 meters per second squared. I was quite surprised at the low level of motion transfer. Typically, lower priced mattresses, especially those with lower spec coil units, perform worse for motion transfer. However, the Zinus did a good job at keeping motion intensity held to a lower level. In our motion transfer chart, which visualizes our accelerometer data, we can see the highest motion peaks from 0 to 0.22 seconds. There is a significant secondary spike from 0.58 to 0.79 seconds, and it's not until 1.66 seconds that we return to near zero levels of energy. On the positive side, motion transfer energy peaks are kept to reasonable levels. However, on the negative side, this is one of the longest motion transfer durations we've ever tested on a mattress. It took 1.66 seconds to fully disperse all energy. The best mattresses reduce all energy within 0.3 seconds. Needless to say, it's less than ideal that Zinus takes that much time to fully reduce energy and motion. To test response time, we place a 12-pound medicine ball on the mattress. Once it's fully at rest, we then quickly remove it and objectively measure the amount of time it takes for the mattress to recover and resume its original shape. A faster response time is better, as quicker responding material layers better adapt to your changes in movement and prevent any type of a stuck feeling. The Zinus Hybrid is a mixed bag for material responsiveness, with an extremely fast mostly recovered response time and a fast fully recovered response time. In our most recovered test, we measured a recovery speed of 0.2 seconds, which is 0.23 seconds faster than the average of 0.43 seconds based on all of our tests to date. In our fully recovered responsiveness test, we measured a recovery speed of 0.7 seconds, which is 0.28 seconds faster than the average of 0.98 seconds. The mattress uses all polyfoam comfort layers, contains no memory foam, and is equipped with a spring coil unit. All of these factors are helping to increase material responsiveness. The fast responsiveness ensures it's easy to move around the mattress. Overall, I'm pleased with the level of material responsiveness, and I do not expect it's going to be an issue for most sleepers. To run the bounce test, we drop a 12-pound medicine ball onto the mattress. We measure the maximum depth the ball sinks to before rebounding up, as well as the maximum height it achieved on the bounce. Bounce is a preferential factor. Some prefer more, others less. However, more bounce is typically better than less, as it improves ease of movement, aids in response time, and improves sex performance. The Zinus Hybrid has a very high level of bounce. During our test, we measured a total bounce height of 12.95 inches. This is 3.68 inches more bounce than the average of 9.27 inches based on all of our tests to date. Less expensive and lower spec coil units typically create a higher level of bounce, and that's exactly what we measured in our test with the Zinus. The coil unit on the Zinus is not encased in fabric. Fabric encased coils typically serve to suppress bounce. Without that fabric layer, there is no bounce reduction. When we combine these material choices with high responsive polyfoam comfort layers, we have the right material and design conditions for a very high level of bounce. For an assessment of edge support, I lie on and sit on the edge of the mattress to measure the level of support and compression. Less thingish while sitting and lying directly on the edge of the mattress is better, as it creates a more supportive edge for sleeping, lounging, and amorous activities. The Zinus Hybrid has good sitting edge support and mediocre lying edge support. In our sitting edge support test, we measured a sitting thingish compression of 4.50 inches. This is 0.46 inches more sitting sinkage than the average of 4.04 inches based on all of our tests to date. While sitting edge support was good, lying edge support left much to be desired. While lying directly on the edge of the mattress, I felt the support was mediocre in all sleeping positions. The foam layers feel collapsed under my body, and there is a notable support difference between the edge and the middle of the mattress. Notably, the mattress contains no edge support foam or reinforced edge support coils. When you combine these design choices with lower quality foams and a lower spec coil unit, you end up with less than great lying edge support. Our sex test uses a weighted formula to assess sex performance. Higher bounce and more supportive edges are the most important factors, with noise, pressure relief, and cooling being lesser weighted inputs. Mattresses with more bounce and better edge support perform better for sex, as do mattresses that don't make as much noise and are more comfortable to lie on. The Zinus Hybrid has excellent sex performance. On the positive side, bounce is extremely high and edge support is good, even if it's not quite amazing. The higher than average level of bounce greatly carries the sex score. When it comes to sex, more bounce is almost always better. Higher bounce helps you create a more active surface for amorous activities and helps you work with couples to facilitate the dance without pants. On the negative side, noise is high due to the lower quality coil unit and non-wrapped coils, pressure relief is mediocre, and cooling is only fair. Fortunately, these three negative performance areas aren't as important as bounce and edge support. While we would have liked to have seen better performance, the higher than average performance from the bounce and edge support ensured the Zinus earned a good sex score. Our pressure relief test is a measure of overall pressure relief performance. We analyze materials, layers, thicknesses, density, and design elements in conjunction with a subjective assessment of our experience while lying on the mattress. Mattresses with better pressure relief are able to create a more comfortable sleeping surface. The Zinus Hybrid has a mediocre level of pressure relief. During our test, I felt notable pressure points on my body. The mattress simply didn't create enough comfort across all sleeping positions. The mattress is equipped with 4.0 inches of comfort material, which is 0.15 inches less than the average comfort layer thickness of 4.15 inches based on all of our tests to date. While there are technically 4 inches in the comfort layer, the quality of its foam is incredibly disappointing. It has the look and feel of lower quality. Specifically, it's stiffer, harder, and has a notable crunchiness to it. This type of feel often occurs in foams that are nearing the end of their life. To see foams look and feel this way on day one is incredibly concerning. Overall, I found pressure relief to be mediocre, and when coupled with the foam quality issues, I'm worried that the pressure relief will only further decline over time on this mattress. When I consider our objective pressure mapping tests, material thickness, material quality, and my subjective experiences on the mattress, I'm confident most sleepers will find the pressure relief to be mediocre. To evaluate off-gassing, we assess the mattress following the initial unboxing, taking a subjective measure of any strong smells. We monitor the mattress over a period of days until the mattress no longer has a strong odor. Mattresses with a less strong odor and/or an odor that dissipates more quickly are better. The Zinus Hybrid had a strong smell upon the initial unboxing. The mattress smelled for 14 days. This is 7.6 days longer than the average smell duration of 6.4 days. The company score takes a look at the factors that may influence your experience with the mattress. Factors include length of the trial period, warranty, shipping costs, return costs, trust, and country of origin. Zinus mattresses come with a 100-night trial period and a 10-year warranty. Shipping and returns are both free. The biggest mark against the company score is simply trust. To be frank, I do not have any significant degree of trust in Zinus as a brand. From performance, material quality, arguably deceptive marketing language, and a 2022 class action lawsuit against the company resulting from alleged fiberglass exposure, Zinus just isn't a brand that I trust. So, is Zinus Hybrid worth buying? In my opinion, its lack of support and pressure relief issues disqualify this mattress from me ever recommending it. Some may think the price and ability to buy it on Amazon make it worth considering. While those are nice perks, the mattress itself just doesn't perform well enough in my view. That's before even mentioning my lack of faith in its durability. The quality of the foam layer and its innerspring unit both make me skeptical it can maintain even this low level of performance for more than a few years. In the end, there are other options around this price range that simply perform better and utilize higher quality materials. For other budget-friendly options, I'd recommend the Sienna, Zomastar, Lisa Studio, and Brooklyn Bedding Copperflex. Well guys, that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. Comments or questions, please drop us those notes down below. If you're interested in buying the Zinus, we've got a link in the description. For more from NapLab, be sure to get subscribed, ring that bell, and visit us over at naplab.com. As always, thank you so much for watching.